Alright, we're going to make some ham and cheese sliders. So the first thing we need, of course, is some ham. And I've got this little football that I'm going to cut up to use for the ham. Now if you got deli slices, use them. Thin slice probably works better. What I'm going to do once I'm done cutting them is cut them into small strips just to make it easier to eat when the finished product is ready to go. And that's about a big enough pile. About 5 or 6 pieces should do. Obviously I've got a pack of buns, a 12 pack of buns, so you want to make sure you've got enough meat to cover all the sandwiches that you're going to make the sliders. So into a bowl we're going to put them and put it aside. We're also going to chop up an onion. Now unfortunately I had this little guy and I should have done 2 of them. So I had fun trying to peel it because it was so small. It's like a micro onion or something. But we managed. We peeled it, sliced it, and of course if you're not really fussy about onions, that's plenty. If you like onions, you might want to use a medium onion or 2 of these. And we're going to slice this, and that's going to go in the sandwiches. So in a frying pan with a little bit of oil, medium heat, we're going to take those onions and we're going to cook them down, at least to translucent. If you don't quite like them like that, well, you don't have to cook them down like that. I mean, you could put them in the sliders raw if you really wanted to. I just prefer having them, cooked. It does give them a sweeter taste, and I wasn't looking for the bite of a raw onion. Now once the onions are done, we're going to get them out of the frying pan and put them aside so that we can assemble our sliders. Okay, so we need a topping for our sliders. We're going to put some garlic chopped up into a bowl. I had a handful of chives, so I chopped that up. It's not necessary, but it gave it a little green look to it that I thought was pretty cool. And that goes in the bowl too. Alright, we're going to throw in some pepper. And of course the star ingredient, you guessed it, butter. Now I think I put in about 3 tablespoons-ish. I chopped that up small. Put it in the microwave for about a minute just to melt it down because you want it pourable. So that's going to go on top of our sliders when it's done. So there you have it, and into the microwave it goes. We're going to give it a mix just before we pour it on top. So here's our buns. I found from doing this before that if you break them apart, they are easier to cut because you need to slice them. So you need to slice them in half so you have a top and bottom to work with. If they're nice and fresh, if you're not careful, you kind of end up squeezing them and bunching them up, and you really have to watch how you're cutting them. So there you go. The bottoms look good, but the tops are mushed a little bit. Well, just take your time and do the best you can with it. Maybe if I actually did them into twos, it might not have squished quite as much. That's neither here nor there. In a pan, either a 9x13 or these square pans, just squeeze the sliders in. They're a little bigger pan. You put the bottom of the sliders in the pan with some parchment paper, of course, so you don't ruin your pan. And with that, we're going to throw some Swiss cheese slices on the bottom, and that'll melt down really nice. If you really want to do something, when you're done, you can throw more cheese on top. And here comes all that ham we chopped up earlier. And you just want to sprinkle it around. Make sure you get all of it. Keep a couple pieces to snack on if need be. But you don't want like a single layer because, well, then you can't really taste the goodness of the ham. There you go, that's done. And now the onions that we sauteed in the pan, we're going to sprinkle them on top. Like I said, in hindsight, I wish I would have made more than just what I did. But that's okay. On the tops of the buns, we need some mustard, because what's a ham and cheese slider or sandwich without mustard? Of course, it's optional. I mean, you could put mayo on, I suppose, or mix the two together, or do like a mayo ketchup or whatever kind of combo you think would work on a ham and Swiss. I just like mustard. I think it goes well with it, so that's what we're going to use. Now, like I said, if you want to put extra cheese on top, you could do it. I didn't. Maybe next time I will. You put your tops on, and of course, into the oven it's going to go, but first we got to put our drinking butter on top. And my daughter said she would prefer it not being on there because it did make them a little squishy, but I think it's great the way it is. So there you go, it's soaked into the bun. Now we're going to put it in the oven once we cover it, of course. 350 for 20 minutes. Take it out, take the top off, let it bake for another 5 to 10 minutes. And there you have it, the end product. Nice and yummy ham and cheese sliders. Enjoy. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, give me a like below. Feel free to share this in any of my other videos. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. That'll let you know anytime I upload a video, usually Thursdays. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.